Iran today has a magical opportunity to say that they will negotiate the ceasefire, but only if it's with Obama.
This is the latest. So Iran made a special announcement on Iran News Media, and they said they don't want to talk to this guy. No way, no how. They said nope, and they want to talk. The only one they'll talk to is Barack Obama. This is.
We pulled it off without firing a missile. We got 97% of their enriched uranium out. They were able to maintain a modest civilian nuclear program for energy. And
so you think it was working?
Well, not only did I think it was working, even Israeli intelligence thought it was working. Even our intelligence services thought it was working. So there's no dispute that it worked.
Well, there you have it. We wouldn't be in this mess if Trump wouldn't have ripped up the deal that Obama made with Iran. Whether you like it or not, it was working. For what it needed to do, it was working. But it just wasn't a good thing, according to Trump. Let me tell you something. And I know MAGA is going to come into the comment section and they're going to be like, oh, what do you want to do? Just send pallets of money over to Iran? It was Iran's money with interest. Okay? Or what do you, Iran can't have nukes. We have nukes. A lot of other countries have nukes. You mean to tell me you're going to trust Trump with a nuke? Are you fucking kidding me right now? Are you? And then here's the thing. It doesn't matter if he goes over there and destroys that entire country or wherever, so we don't have to send money here, and there. Okay? You'll never see the money that Trump saves. Okay? The higher elites will see it, but the middle class will never see it. Where's that Doge money at? Where's that $5,000, MAGA? Where's that at? Huh? All that fraud that Elon Musk found. Did you get that? You didn't get that, did you? Huh? What about the $2,000? Huh? What about the peace president? Oh, I can negotiate anything. You can't be a good president unless you can negotiate. Where's that at? You all voted. You voted for no wars. You voted for cheap gas. You voted for eggs. You voted for groceries. And guess what you got? You got a fucking egg. Yeah, that's what you got, was an egg. You fucking...
Iran's trolling of Trump is just so fucking funny. They're so goddamn good at it with their AI and their Lego videos, and now they've said they'll only negotiate with Obama because he's the GOAT.
What? Look at this. He is still calling out Obama. He still has Obama on his mind. Greatest sucker of them all, Trump called. This is all about the fact that he cannot get the Obama deal with Iran. That's what this is all about. This is why he's complaining. This is why it's all because he can't get the Obama deal. So yeah, he hasn't been president in years and years and years and years and still calling him out. But that's what this is all about. I want you to understand this whole war thing. Trump cannot stop the war unless he gets a better deal than Obama had. And Iran is not offering that. So this right here is why he's going absolutely nuts. This is why he's going crazy. This is keeping him up at night. He can't get the deal Obama got years ago. Let me know what you think in the comments, and like and follow for more.
So Iran just tweeted out that they will only negotiate with Obama. Yeah, they said, sorry, we're holding out for the GOAT. Yeah, we're not talking to you. We were going to wait for President Obama, the greatest president of all time. We ain't fucking with you, but we're chilling here by the Strait of Hormuz until you send in the varsity team. We will only negotiate with Obama. Oh my, Trump's head is going to explode. I'm sorry. Oh my God. Trump, there will be ketchup, french fries, and cheeseburgers hitting every wall of the White House.
Apparently, we're now offering Iran what is the equivalent to Obama's original nuclear deal. Yeah, that's where we're at. back to square one. You know the deal that Donald Trump tore up because it had Obama's name on it, and that hurts his feelings. And he came out and said it was a very stupid deal, a terrible deal, the worst deal ever. You know, that deal. Well, apparently it's not stupid anymore. Maybe somebody read it. But hey, this is what happens when you elect people that are more concerned with one-upping the opposition than actually governing. Like Donald Trump. I would be interested to know how many people have died because he tore up that nuclear deal just because it had Obama's name on it, and that's a scary Muslim-sounding name. Ooh. It might have even had Hussein on it. Ooh. And for the MAGA morons that haven't figured it out yet, this is the United States of America, not the Alabama football team. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, get that through your head. Yeah, because when you elect really stupid people, people die. That's what happens. And I know you don't care about that because the people that die aren't the same color as you. And, you know, that's a huge disqualifier for you to care. And keep in mind that basically every single one of our allies told Donald Trump to not tear up the Iran nuclear deal. They told him that what's happening right now, is exactly what would happen. Now, we did have one ally who did not agree with that. Do you have any idea who that was? Yeah. Israel. Of course. Israel, the country that got us into the Iraq war. Here's a crazy idea. How about we not listen to war criminals when we start trying to make decisions about what we're going to do with foreign policy and war and all these things? How about we not listen to war criminals like Benjamin Netanyahu? Because that's exactly what he is. But here we sit today listening to a man who committed genocide against the Palestinians and potentially going into war to keep him happy. A man that committed genocide against Palestinians. Yeah.
So I had to phrase the frame right there because this is absolutely wild, right? Think about the situation that we are having here. A world major power looking at the US and basically saying, we don't love the current regime. We don't love the current guy, right? And we don't want to talk or have any conversation with him. Rather, we will only deal with Barack Obama. So honestly, why is this causing a total meltdown in the halls of power? When a black man went into a room full of global powers, used his mind, used meticulous diplomacy, and put together a perfect peace deal in 2015 that actually worked, he set a standard. The moment this new regime stepped in, right, they didn't even try to build on that success. They didn't even try to build on the legacy left by Obama, right, by the Obama regime. But rather, they intentionally destroyed the whole thing simply because they couldn't stand the fact that it was built. I mean, the architect behind all this was a black man, right? When a leader is so blinded by his own ego that he would rather risk a global conflict than admit that a black man did a better job than him, right? Then you have to ask yourself, is it about national security or is it about a fragile ego throwing out tantrum because it got outsmarted by black excellence? For those who are new to this channel, this is the Nick Report and I'm your host Nick. I need us to watch the rest of this play out, then we'll come back with the critical analysis of the same as we always do.
You know, they say you can tell a lot about a person by the type of people they hang out with. Yeah. Yeah. We hang out with Benjamin Netanyahu. What does that tell you about us? Now, I know a lot of you guys' mouths are watering at the idea of live streaming, you know, the U.S. bombing Iran on the big screen while you play beer pong and probably got baseball and football on the other screen. And look, I get it. Death and destruction is entertaining to a lot of you people. It's not a sport, okay? These are people's lives we're talking about. People just like you and me that don't give two shits what their government thinks. Yeah. The ones that should perish shall not be the ones that do. It will be the innocents. It's always the innocents. Yeah.
So get this, Donald Trump attacked Iran on the premise that they were developing nuclear weapons and that he needed to strike their nuclear sites in order to contain them. Yet, back in 2018, Donald Trump withdrew from the Iran nuclear deal, which blocked Iran from developing nuclear weapons. Now, do you know why Donald Trump withdrew from this deal? Because guess who signed it? Barack Obama. That's right. Back in 2015, Barack Obama struck the Iran nuclear deal that imposed strict limits and inspections on Iran's nuclear programs in exchange for lifting economic sanctions against Iran. And it was working, as is proven by this chart. But because Donald Trump could not stand the idea of Barack Obama striking a successful deal, Trump withdrew from the agreement despite facing global opposition and despite there being no evidence of Iran violating this deal. And now, in 2025, Donald Trump is taking us into war to contain their nuclear program, which Barack Obama had already done 10 years ago without having to take us into war. So there you have it. All of this to spite Obama, a man who was superior to Donald Trump.
Welcome back, family, and we're going to begin this commentary by looking at the blatant double standard of competence, right? When Barack Obama was in office, he didn't have the luxury of just winging it, right? He couldn't just walk into a room, make wild threats on social media, and hope for the best. As a black leader, you have to operate under a completely different set of rules, right? To get that 2015 peace deal signed, his administration had to be flawless. Every single number had to be double-checked, every nuclear inspector verified, and multiple foreign governments completely aligned. Why? Because the system is always looking for an excuse to say that a black man is incompetent or isn't entirely qualified to rule, right? So Barack Obama had to build something that is airtight just to be taken seriously. But look at the contrast when the power structure changes. The successor, that is Trump, steps in with no technical team, fires the nuclear experts, and tears down a working agreement in 2018 out of pure childish spite, right? He didn't have a better plan, right? He just didn't want a black man's name to remain on the victory plaque, right? This is the exact same dynamic that black folks experience in corporate spaces, in universities, and in local communities, right? Every single day. You can build a system, you can organize a project and run your department so perfectly, right? But when the traditional power structure takes over, when the traditional power structure steps in, right, they would rather break all, they'd rather dismantle everything, right, and cause chaos just so that they would not look at your monument, of victory or success. So think about the psychology of this global meltdown. The ego we're talking about would literally prefer regional instability and the threat of war over admitting that a black man's strategy was right. It's a terrifying level of insecurity. So when Iran comes out and says that we don't respect you, but we respect the guy that came before you, right? That is the ultimate shutdown. So it proves that respect cannot be bought, right? It cannot be demanded through loud talk. And it doesn't just automatically come with sitting in a big chair, right? Because the current regime couldn't match that intelligence, it threw tantrum, right? It's a toxic mentality that says, if I can't be the hero of the piece of paper, right, then I'm going to burn the whole house down. They would rather rule over a pile of ashes than live peacefully in a house built by a black architect, right? We have to talk about how the system routinely tries to wipe out our intellectual achievement. So they don't want the world to remember that the absolute peak of modern international diplomacy was achieved under a black president. They want to rewrite the past to make it seem like chaos is a natural state, right, of things, and that we aren't capable of high-level strategic leadership. This is the exact same reason that some groups try to ban our history in schools, right? Take our names off discovery or downplay our contributions to the society. A successful, undeniable black legacy threatens the very math of their inherent superiority. It proves that when the playing field is even, right, our brilliance shines brighter, our strategies are tighter, and our leadership is more stable, as proven by the Obama regime, right? So when they can't beat the legacy fairly, their only move left is to try and erase it from their history books entirely, right? There's a deep-seated fear in traditional power structures when a black person becomes the authority figure that foreign nationals actually prefer to deal with. For decades, the narrative has been that Western traditional leaders, right, are the only ones capable of maintaining world order. So when a foreign national openly rejects the traditional leader and says, no, we prefer the diplomacy of a black leader, of Barack Obama, right, It flips the global hierarchy on its head. It shows that our leadership style, built on patience and mutual respect and high intelligence, is actually more effective than a leadership style built on bullying and ego, right? That terrifies them. It forces them to realize that their monopoly on power only exists because they've rigged the system, not because that the blacks, are inferior, right? Not because that they are inherently better at ruling. So the ultimate lesson here is that we must stop letting them control the metrics of success, right? Because history shows exactly who built the peace through intelligence, and history shows exactly who brought the chaos up, right? Through bullying and through loud talks. So when you see the media or politicians panicking and trying to flip the script, don't buy the hype, right? Look at the receipts. Look at the results of the previous regime. So we have to be the ones to protect our own legacy and to speak it to our children and the rest of the world, right? We have to speak the truth so loudly that they can sanitize what actually happened. The ego might be completely shut down, but our awareness needs to be turned all the way up, right? We aren't going to let them gaslight us into forgetting what excellence really looks like. So I want to hear from you in the comments. How many times have you seen someone in authority try to dismantle the legacy, try to dismantle the system you built, the administration you ran, or the project that you operated, just because he didn't or he couldn't, stand to the fact that you did it better, right? So let's talk about it down below. And thank you for sitting through this commentary. For those who are new to this channel, this is the Nick Report, and I'm the host, Nick. I'm officially welcoming you this great platform, right? The home of unfiltered truth and the watchdog of our community. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share this video, to reach a wider audience. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.